Over the past 2 months or so, like January and February, I acquired a few new makeup products that I have yet to really discuss on YouTube. So today I wanted to take a moment and do a full face and speed reviews of all of those products. I did film this face of makeup right here, so you will be seeing some overlays of me creating this face of makeup as I talk through the products here. I couldn't fit them all on my face today, but you'll get a good sense for the vast majority of these items here. So first up, I prepped my skin today using the Glossier Future Dew Oil Serum Hybrid. This is pretty new to my collection. I do think I actually bought this back in December, and I was expecting this to be more of a cosmetic item than a skincare item. So I started using it underneath of my makeup, and I realized that actually it is providing me quite a bit of hydration to my skin when I'm wearing it. So not only does it prep my skin really, really beautifully in terms of giving me kind of a glowy, dewy finish before makeup, it's also gorgeous on its own, and I feel like it's actually doing something for my skin. So I'm pleasantly surprised with this because I thought it was only going to give me the visual look of dew. I didn't think it was going to actually add hydration. So I was pleasantly surprised. It's definitely more of a skincare and a cosmetic product combined for me, and that makes me happy. Next up, I have the BareMinerals Primetime BB Primer Cream, and it also has SPF 30 in it. I am not 100% sure that BareMinerals is still selling this. I got it on Ulta. I got it as an add-on to an order for like $5. So I thought, you know what, why not? I mean, worst case scenario, I have a full fluid ounce of SPF here for $5. So I was excited to try it out. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding all of the shades online now. It does only come in 3 shades. I have the shade light. There's a light, medium, and dark. I know that is not great. Even in the world of like tinted sunscreen sorts of products, 3 shades is definitely not enough. However, you'll see in the demo that this has essentially no coverage. I mean, honestly, this product to me is more of a texture thing. It's very silicone-y, slippery feeling, and so it goes onto my skin really seamlessly. It does a little bit of like pore filling and blurring. It doesn't really add any sort of a tint. I'm gonna call this one like sheer to non-existent coverage, and hopefully the footage showed that to you. It really truly does just sort of add a little tiny bit of blur to my skin. All of that said, and kind of shade range aside, I do really like this. It is really nice. It dries down on my skin. It doesn't stay like dewy, tacky, or wet feeling. So I appreciate that. And it is kind of just a nice, really simple, easy blurring step. On sort of the other end of the coverage spectrum, I have this little sampler size of the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Foundation. I have it the shade Fair Light, which is a really good match for me. This is relatively high coverage. I mean, for me anyways. It's medium buildable, I would say, and it has a really gorgeous natural finish. I love the finish of this product. I don't have it on today, but I will insert a picture here so that you can kind of see how that finish looks on my skin. So I wore it in this photo, in this look, and it, first of all, looks so, so beautiful on my dry skin. So it's not dewy and glowy, it's not necessarily hydrating, but somehow it wears perfectly on my dry patches and dry areas of my skin. In addition to kind of loving the coverage level and the finish, I also love the longevity of this. This lasts so long. I do have just a little bit of this left, and I'm a little nervous because on Sephora, it looks like it's half off, so I'm not sure if they're discontinuing this, if they're reformulating, or if Sephora just isn't going to carry it anymore. But I was genuinely considering picking this up as my kind of high coverage option in my collection because I've loved it that much. So we'll see. I think I still have like maybe 3, 4, maybe even 5 more uses out of this little container. You don't need very much. A little goes a long way. So when I'm actually truly done with this, I'll kind of assess the situation, see if they're going to keep it in their line, and I might consider buying it. I like it that much. For concealer today, I'm wearing the Undone Beauty Conceal to Reveal palette. I have the shade 425 Cream Light, and it is just a little bit light for my skin. You'll see that in the demo. It's just a bit pale. So in the winter, it's a little pale, and that means in the summer, I probably won't be able to use this at all. I'm a bit on the fence about how I feel about it. So let me talk you through pros and cons here. So first things first, it's a little hard to see, but there's sort of a line going straight across right here and right here. And if you're unfamiliar with this product, essentially it is a concealer product where the top strip here is supposed to be light coverage, the middle strip is medium coverage, the bottom strip is full coverage. So it's supposed to be 3 different coverage levels all in one pan, kind of mix and match, use them however you'd like all over your face. I sort of thought it was not going to be that much of a differentiation. I thought it was sort of like a marketing tactic more than anything, but they are dramatically different coverage levels. That being said, the full coverage is a bit too full coverage for me, like anywhere on my face. And this is a little bit too much of like a creamy emollient texture for me to use it to even like spot conceal. And because it's the wrong shade for me, because it's so light on my skin tone, I wouldn't want to spot conceal with it anyways. I do like the top two. The very top one, the fully like very, very sheer coverage, that one's great for just like throwing a tiny bit of makeup on the reddest parts of my face if I'm doing like a no makeup look and I just want to kind of tone that down a little bit without it looking cakey or without adding tons and tons of coverage. That has been the way I like that best. And the medium coverage strip here kind of mixed with the lightest strip. So the top two here, I kind of mix them together to conceal my under eyes. So that's what I'm wearing today. You can see as someone with a lot of dark circles, a lot of darkness under there, it didn't do a super great job of concealing, but it doesn't look cakey or crepey or dry under my eyes either. So like I said, really creamy and emollient, and therefore, even though the coverage level is maybe not perfect, I appreciate that it doesn't get like weird and gross under my eyes. The full coverage one, you would think maybe I could just, you know, remedy this by putting the full coverage one under my eyes. But no, it's a way, way, way too thick and creamy, and it really settles into my lines. So this one is sort of still a toss-up for me. I just cannot quite like make up my mind on how I feel about it. I think I just need a little more time with it. I need to play around with it in different sorts of makeup looks to come to a conclusion. All right, on my cheeks today, I am wearing my Fenty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush in the shade Drama Class. This is gorgeous. I really love this color so much. So it's all that I have on my cheeks, like on the apples of my cheeks. I did, after the demo, I put bronzer on along with it, but when I'm putting it on in the demo, I don't have anything else on my cheeks, so you can really see the true color. And I love how cool toned this blush is. It's really flattering on my cool undertones. I think it's going to be the perfect spring blush for me. Even better, something I adore about this blush is that it's a beautiful cream product, so it really goes a long way to making my cheeks look flushed and healthy and gorgeous, but it dries itself down and I love it. It's not sticky, it's not tacky. Give it 5 minutes and it really settles in beautifully and it adds super long lasting color. So I'm extremely happy with this purchase. This is probably one of my favorite things I've added to my collection in, I mean, months, if not like a year. It's truly, truly one of my all-time favorite products now. I also have one other blush that I've added to my collection in the last few months, and I haven't actually worn this yet. And if you just watched my video last week where I kind of emulated Kaki's makeup style, you will already know what this is. It's the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Blush in the shade Flirtatious. I don't know what's going on with me, but I like cannot use this. This never happens to me. Normally when I buy makeup, I swatch it immediately. I forget to even take nice product photos. I just have my hands in the product instantly and it's all over my face within 10 minutes. This arrived in the mail. I opened it up. I was speechless. I closed it and I still haven't used it. And I've had it for, I've had it for at least a month. I may have bought it end of December, honestly. So at that point, like 2 full months at least. I really, really need to use this sometime soon. The issue is I keep wanting to reach for something else in my collection for a specific look, like a specific reason. And then I don't want to use this for the first time when I can't see the true color. So I need to plan a look around this, I think, to kind of get out of my head and just use it. So updates to come on this. Basically, the update here is that I still haven't used it. And I'm honestly really embarrassed about it, but I will get there soon enough. Okay, so then here's where the demo footage kind of skips a beat because I go ahead and I do, let's see, I do my highlighter, my brows, I put down an eye primer, and I put on that bronzer. But all of those steps that I just listed, all of those will be in the description box down below in case you're curious what brow pencil I used or whatever. They're always down there, but they're just not new items. The next new thing on my list that you're going to see in the demo after all those other steps are done is the KVD Lock-It Setting Powder. So I have this little sampler size and I got it free with some order. I can't remember, maybe at Ulta. And it is just a little baby translucent setting powder. It does have a slight tint. I show you that in the demo as well. I kind of show you the color of the powder before I start applying it. So it's not like a white translucent powder, it's a slight tint. Do I think this would work on all skin tones? Maybe not, but probably a pretty wide range before you would start to actually see any sort of pigment on this. This one is a kind of a hard one for me to assess right now, but here are my general winter dry skin thoughts. This one is a tiny bit dry for me right now. It absolutely does set my makeup. I mean, my makeup lasts like forever when I have this on, and I mean forever. The combination of this plus that Wander Beauty foundation is like indestructible on my face. That being said though, it is locking my makeup in kind of at the expense of my dry skin. So I think that this is gonna be a really gorgeous powder for me for the summer, for like special events, especially for travel. I think this will be unbelievable. I really do love it. It locks my makeup in like nobody's business. It's just a bit much this winter for me. And the fact that it's impressing me enough in the winter is a really good sign for it for the warmer months. All right, for eyeshadow today, I am using the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. I picked this up at Sephora on sale, on a sale. So I got it for, I think, $25. And this palette has really called my name ever since it released multiple years ago. And part of the reason I'm so drawn to it is because I feel like for a sort of colorful color story, like a half colorful, half neutral palette, this color story has truly stood the test of time. I think it's equally as beautiful now, today, as it was when it released. And that's saying something. I mean, like, that's a big deal. And I adore it. I just truly adore it. I am so glad I got it on sale. It's $67 normally. And despite all of these really wonderful things I'm about to say about it, I still don't know that I would pay full price for this if I like lost this one and wanted to replace it. And let me tell you why. Essentially, my hesitation comes down to the fact that there are colors in here that I will rarely, if ever, use. I'm happy to have them. I'm happy I got this on sale. But like these blue shades up here, I will probably very rarely use. And even like this gold is like a really bright gold for my skin tone. There are just some shades in here I know I won't use. Probably like, I don't know, almost a third of the palette, a quarter of the palette, something like that. And so for $67, I don't think it would have been worth it. But for $26, it's 100% worth it because I can play around with some of those shades when I'm feeling inspired to do so. But I can get really good use out of the more neutral leaning shades in here as well. Aside from that, aside from the fact that some of these colors are shades that I rarely use, particularly those turquoises, I love everything else about this palette, and I even love those shades. I mean, they swatched beautifully. They seem like they're going to be the same amazing quality as all the rest of the shadows I've already played with. So they're still a good addition to the palette. They just maybe aren't my like everyday cup of tea. Today, I'm obviously playing around with the purples in the palette, and I'll put a picture here on the screen as well where I did sort of like a slightly warmer mauve toned look with the palette as well. I'm very excited to do like a warmer toned neutral look with these shades because I love some of the warmer colors in here too. And then someday I'm sure I'll get around to those turquoise shades. But I am actually going to upload a full review of this palette that I'm filming right after I finish filming this video with the swatches, with some ideas of color stories I'm super excited to play with. So definitely keep an eye out for that video. Subscribe if you're not already. I think it's going to be the next video that comes, so next Monday. And I'm very excited. I'm excited to upload that video because it's going to be a slightly different take on like a palette review. The bottom line is the formula is beautiful in the shades I've used so far. Everything swatched very beautifully. And for a sale price, I really think that this is a color story that holds up so well in a constantly changing makeup market. And the packaging is just stunning. Okay, I have 4 lip products to round out this video here. 4 is a lot for me. I don't know what happened here. First lip product up here is the Thrive Cosmetics Lip Filler Lip Liner in the shade Khaki. Now, if you watched my video last week, I tried to basically mix a bunch of my own lip liners that I already have to get a warm brown shade that this is, to mimic this sort of a look when I was kind of mimicking Khaki's signature makeup style. And after watching that footage back, I realized that I just don't have a warm brown anywhere in my collection that's, you know, sort of this tone and depth. And I have almost exclusively pink colored lip liners. So I decided to just pick it up. I am super excited about having it. I love everything I've tried from Thrive Cosmetics, and this is no exception. It really truly is so long wearing. It's gorgeous, and it's a really beautiful shade. I always thought that a warmer brown like this wouldn't be that flattering with my cool undertones, but this is actually like a perfect neutral brown, and it just gave my lips a gorgeous contour. So I'm really happy with this purchase. Nothing bad to say about it. I understand the hype now of this particular shade. Next up in the lip category here is the Rouje Powder Lip Palette in the shade Signature. So I am also going to be doing a full separate review on this product, so I won't get too into the weeds here. This review will come up after the Huda Mercury Retrograde palette review. So I think 2 weeks from now. So again, subscribe if you're not already, and if you want really good, detailed, thorough swatches and reviews of these separate products. That being said, just to give you kind of my speed review here, as I'm supposed to be doing, I really love this little palette. This pink shade is basically my lips but better, so it's a really nice, easy shade for me to wear. And then these 3 darker reddish burgundy sorts of shades are all really different from each other. They look sort of similar here in the pan, but they add a huge amount of variety. And I really love layering different shades from this palette because they all complement each other so well. They are matte powders, so my recommendation here is to make sure your lips are hydrated and prepped before using it, or do like I did in this video. I put a gloss over top just to keep my lips a little more hydrated throughout the day. I like a matte blotted lip look like this gives, so I appreciate it. I like that formula, but just a word to the wise, if you're not used to more of a matte powdery look, you're probably going to be a little thrown off by how it looks and feels. It does feel kind of like just like a little bit tight on the lips almost if they're not really well hydrated. In the full review, I'm also going to talk you through how this looks and feels on my cheeks and my eyes as well. It's kind of marketed as a lip palette that you can also use elsewhere on your face because it's a powder. But in my review, I'll kind of talk to you about why, in my opinion and from my preferences, this really is a lip palette. That being said, I love it. Love the curation of shades. I like the matte blotted look, and I love how it wears. Now on basically the opposite end of the spectrum, I have my Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Mauve Glow. Now this is one of those bullet products where if I twist it up, I cannot twist it back down. So unfortunately, I won't be able to twist too much of it up for you to see, but it just is a kind of shiny, slippery balm product. It does have that like menthol tingle that plumping lip products often have. It adds a bit of plumping to my lips, but it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't sting, but that menthol flavor and that menthol sort of like tingle is there. So if you don't like that, steer clear. You're not going to be happy with this. But personally, I really love it. To me, the only downfall of this product is that when you twist it up, you cannot twist it back down. And because it's a really like slippery, glossy sort of product, it kind of gets a little bit everywhere when I'm applying it. I have to be sort of careful to make sure it doesn't like squish over the edges of the tube here. So like when I twist it up, make sure it doesn't squish over this edge here, or it doesn't get outside my lip lines. I have to just be a little precious with it when I'm applying. But I really like it. I really like the formula. I love how it makes my lips look. I'll put a picture here if I can find one. I'm sure I can. I love it. I think it's really, really flattering, and I love this shade Mauve Glow as well. And then the last product here is the Kaja Gloss Shot in the shade Milk Tea. This is a formula I have been wanting to try for so long, and actually a brand that has been on my wish list for, oh my gosh, for so, so long. I have really wanted to try Kaja for a while, and I'm so glad that I got to start out with this lip product that I hear people raving about constantly. This is the gloss that I have on top, so you'll see a little bit of a demo with this as well. I do blot some of it off at the end just because I didn't want such a glossy look. I didn't want my lips to kind of detract too much from the eye look today, but I did build it up in the demo so that you could see it at like full glossiness. Now this I love. I love it. And I am really picky about lip gloss because I hate super sticky lip gloss. This product won like major brownie points with me right off the bat because it is not gooey. Like when I put my lips together and separate them, they don't stick together. There's none of that like stringy gooiness going on. It's really, really comfortable to wear. Of course, it's a lip gloss, so like if it's windy and my hair touches my lips, is it gonna stick? Yeah, it's gonna stick. It's a lip gloss, but it's not sticky feeling when I'm just like speaking or when I'm drinking. It's not like coming off in strings all over my glass. You know what I'm talking about. If you've had a bad lip gloss, you know what I mean. Now, usually you kind of have a trade-off with lip glosses where if it's not sticky, it doesn't last very long on your lips and it's not as kind of like glassy looking. This somehow does all of those things. This is just like a magical lip gloss to me. I don't really know how they did it, how they got it to be so, have so much of a presence on the lips, be so shiny, so incredibly glossy, but not be incredibly sticky, incredibly gooey. It is comfortable to wear. It's beautiful on the lips. I adore this product. So overall, quick recap, almost every product that I kind of reviewed today has been a massive hit for me. And I really think that's indicative of the fact that I have not been purchasing a ton of makeup. I've been really intentional about what I'm bringing into my collection. And so far, I've been doing a really good job of picking out things that actually suit my taste. I will try moving forward to give you more frequent updates than this. I mean, this was like 2.5 months worth of new stuff in my collection. And I am so grateful to you for watching today. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.